Good afternoon. I'm the director of Shurat HaDin-Israel Law Center. It's a civil rights organization that using lawfare against Israel haters. We file lawsuits against terror organizations, and we have judgments against their sponsors. We have lawsuits going on against Hamas, Islamic Jihad, Palestine Authority, Iran, Syria, North Korea, Egypt. Cases against banks that are providing financial services to organizations like American Express Bank, UBS, Arab Bank, National Westminster, and Bank of China. And we have another way that we use this lawfare to fight Israel haters. This is what I'm going to talk to you about it. The BDS boycotts, divestment, sanctions against Israel, the delegitimization that organizations are taking against Israel, the demonized character that are building around Israel, the Islamic movements, the extremists that are trying to destroy Israel are using lawfare. They are using methods that are based on civil rights. They are using the freedom of speech. They are acting on behalf of freedom of expression, freedom of association, and it grows and grows and grows, and it becomes a real threat to the state of Israel, to an extent that the state of Israel has to fight back, and if the state of Israel doesn't fight back, Jews around the world have to fight back. And it's not a simple war, it's a street fight. And in a street fight, you have to use anything you can hold on to. You have to use stones, knives, broken stones, glass, anything, because they're fighting hard, and we have to fight back. When extremists are using freedom of expression to disturb speeches of pro-Israeli speakers, like in UC Davis, when IDF soldiers are appearing and giving a speech, or when Michael Oren in UC Irvine gave a speech a year ago, these people who are disturbing this speech have to be brought to justice. You can indict them. They are making a felony. According to the California Penal Code, it's a violation. It's a felony to come and intentionally disturb a speech. You can express your opinion against a speech. You can demonstrate outside. You can wear black arms on your arms. You can give leaflets in the entrance of the speech. You can ask nasty questions in the end, but you are not allowed to disturb the speech. And the Attorney General of California has to indict them. This is what we're doing. We are demanding to bring these people to justice because they will not stop. And if you don't enforce the law against them, they will continue. The hundreds of people that came on Sunday to Israel, landed in Ben Gurion Airport, were supposed to be indicted because they created a crime. And if the Attorney General of the State of Israel would have announced before that anyone who's coming with this flotilla disturbing the order in the Ben Gurion airport and trying to encourage ideology which is hurting the state of Israel, will be indicted, will spend some time in jail, nobody would have come. But instead, if Israel just simply announcing that they will take these people, maybe give them some Max Brenner chocolate and a T-shirt, and send them back home, they will come not only this year, they will come next year and the year after and the year after. The Flotilla. Why do you think they keep coming? Because nobody enforced the law against them. We did our part. In the past Flotilla, we weren't waiting to the government to stop them. We thought that if we can find something that they all use and we can obtain them from using it, maybe we can stop the flotilla. So we went after the insurance companies. We sent them warning letters, told them that if you provide insurance services to the boats who are participating in the flotilla, you will be responsible for their damage, because the end goal of the boats were to help Hamas, help Gaza, who's controlled by Hamas. This is considered aiding and abetting a terror organization, which is not allowed according to the American law. And you know something? After we sent these letters to the insurance companies, immediately we got an answer from Lloyd's, the biggest maritime insurance company, that say that they are not going to provide insurance services to these boats. And slowly, slowly, many other companies refused to give them services, and many boats were not able to sail. Or we went after the satellite communication services, the same method, brought an injunction against them because they refused to answer us. Went to Miami and filed an injunction against them. And many boats were not able to sail because they had technical problems. We heard it in the New York Times that the Mavi Marmara is pulling out of the flotilla because lack of insurance and other technical problems. We went and got Rick Perry, Governor Rick Perry, involved, and he sent a letter to the Attorney General asking to indict the one who are organizing the flotilla because they are committing a crime against America, according to the American law, according to the Neutrality Act. And we went to Greece and we found a law firm there that asked the port authorities in Greece to raid any boat and to find out whether they have insurance, whether they are registered properly, whether they have communication satellite services. And slowly, slowly, all the boats were knocked down until the organizer of the flotilla announced that because of this Lawfare group in Tel Aviv, Shurat HaDin, they are canceling the flotilla. The Philharmonic Orchestra, the Israeli one, were performing in London, where a bunch of anarchists, anti-Israeli extremists disrupted the concert. So we're not waiting for the police to indict them, although there is, again, according to the British law, a violation of the law. We are taking some people from the crowd who bought tickets to the concert and paid money for it, and we're going to bring a class action suit against the one who disturbed the concert. Now they won't have to pay only $100 for one ticket, because if it turns to a class action suit, they will have to pay many hundreds of thousands of dollars. We tell you, last example. When there was a major terrorist in Gaza named Saleh Shhadeh in the beginning of the Intifada. He was number 2 in Hamas. He was a mastermind behind many suicide bombings. He was responsible for the death of hundreds of Jews. And Israel tried to assassinate him. They weren't able to. They were able to take down number 1, Sheikh Yassin, but they had some troubles, serious problems, to locate number 2, Saleh Shhadeh, until they did try. One day he drove in a car and they hit a missile on the car, but they were so afraid that the missile hit only the rear side of the car. He slightly injured, left the car, and Israel missed him. And one day Israel received information that Saleh Shhadeh is sitting in a building in Gaza, 15 floors, and they did not want to miss him this time. So they decided to drop a bomb on the building, which weighed a ton. They dropped the bomb, the entire building collapsed, Saleh Shhadeh got killed, and another 13 Palestinians. These families of the 13 Palestinians are going from tribunal to tribunal around the world, asking to indict the IDF soldiers that were involved with this bombing for war crimes. They tried in London, they tried in South Africa. Recently, they tried in Spain, and the court in Spain investigated the crime and found there is a basis for an indictment and issued an arrest warrant against the soldiers. Israel tried to cancel this arrest warrant. They tried in many efforts, diplomatic efforts, weren't able to. We were asked if there is anything we, as private people, can do. And we thought that if we find a Spanish figure that was involved with war crimes, and we bring a similar indictment against him in a Spanish court, the Spanish court might think twice if he really wants to get involved with war crimes and goes after the IDF soldiers. So we found out that Javier Solana, the former Prime Minister of Spain, was the head of NATO forces in the Kosovo War. And in the Kosovo War, the NATO forces dropped bombs from high altitudes. One of them fell on a hospital, children's hospital. They killed 7 children. This is a war crime. We contacted a lawyer from Spain. We contacted some victims from Kosovo who agreed to serve as plaintiffs in the lawsuit, and we asked the lawyer to simply take the complaint that was drafted against the IDF soldiers, change the names, change the charges, and bring it against Javier Solana. And he did. He was working on the papers until he got a phone call telling him that he should hold off for a moment because Spain is thinking of changing the law. 2 weeks after, we got a phone call from the lawyer said, Spain changed the law. From now on, you cannot file an indictment for war crimes against anyone unless he has some ties to Spain. Either he has Spanish citizenship or the victim is a Spanish citizen. This is what us, as private people, private lawyer, took part in this struggle. And this is my message. We have to fight back. Governments cannot do what we do. We, as people, as private sector, can take these actions, can take these lawsuits, can fight in the courtrooms. Jabotinsky once said, we have to bear respectability before respectability buries us. The cemeteries in Europe are full of Jews that were respectable. Jews don't have to be respectable. Jews just simply have to fight back. Thank you very much.